What's good? I'm BstMstR, that's Don Chaos. You're watching Star Wars Vlogs. And today is Star Wars Day. Chaos, may the 4th be with you.
And may the 4th be with you.
Alright, now that we got that out of the way, we're going to continue talking about the new cast for Star Wars Episode 7. And, well, why don't you tell them about the Solo twins, or the Solo offspring?
We were wondering, is there gonna only be 2 Solo kids, or is there gonna be 3? Because we know that if, as much as people love the extended universe, and some people hate it when you bring it up, Han and Leia, they end up having 3 kids, where Luke ends up just having 1 son. So, like, does this mean Luke is gonna have a son also? Is his son gonna be in it?
You know what? I think this is a case of we have a lot of questions and we want answers, but some of those answers are not going to be given to us when we want them. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm thinking about how they handled the treatment of Star Trek, especially in Part 2, Into Darkness, is that what it's called?
Yep, because those are younger versions, characters that we're already familiar with, which is nice.
When we feel like we know these characters already, we've grown with these characters, we want to feel like we know, their offspring already, but they're going to still have to be introduced to us through the story. And I'm just saying that it wouldn't be a complete shock to me if J.J. Abrams found a way to kind of baby step us through the plot and introduce characters, and maybe even have characters with concealed identities that are later revealed to be, related. Much in the same way that, we didn't know that Luke and Darth Vader were father and son until the end of the second movie, right? Well, if we've got a situation where we think we know we've got sons and daughters and twins, whatever, well, maybe throughout the course of the movie we find out that someone is somebody's son or daughter or brother or sister, and we didn't know that initially. So maybe they're going to rewrite history a little bit. They picked a really good unknown brunette to play the daughter of Princess Leia and the granddaughter of Princess Amidala, or Princess Padme.
Yep.
Senator Padme, the Royal Leia, Leia Organa Solo. I don't know what names they're going by. And she's going to be the mother, probably still holding some sort of position, government position. She's probably going to help the Empire, or the Republic restructure after the Empire disbands. And that's what's going to be in the crawl, right? In the beginning of Star Wars Episode 7, we're going to see the Star Wars crawl, and it's going to say, a long, long time ago in a galaxy far away, when the Death Star and the Emperor was relieved of his power, there possibly would be some starships that would go AWOL. But who knows how that's going to manifest, man. Like I said, when you got Han Solo and Leia, and their children are now young adults, anything can happen. They could be estranged. Maybe they hid the Force from their kids because they didn't want to raise them in a samurai fucking type way. I mean, it's possible that Luke raised his children to be Jedi, and you're right, maybe Leia embraces her Jedi powers too, and she's actually, a politician with a fucking lightsaber.
Well, that's why it's called the New Republic for a reason. There's new rules, and Leia believes that Jedi should serve. Like, her and Han still have these differences, like how Anakin and Padme were, whereas Han Solo has different views on the Force and stuff. Leia and all 3 of her kids still fully believe in the Force and that it's used for good. and Han Solo's still not convinced of the Force. So you see similarities. He even can't admit his own children have it.
Right? Well, he's like, you got that from your mother.
Pretty much.
Kind of like in Harry Potter, how only one of your parents had magical powers. Or no.
In Harry Potter, his father was a wizard, but his mom came from a Muggle family.
That's what I was thinking of. Muggle families. Right. Imagine that if you were like a Padawan Muggle, you know, trying to make it in the Jedi life and being harassed by, you know, full-blooded Jedi. Inferior metachlorian counts, motherfucker. It's like genetics. But again, since it's May 4th, Star Wars Day, it'd be fun to share a few things. I'll show you guys this. I have these comic books. This is from Episode 1, Phantom Menace, and it's a two-parter. The cool thing about it is that if I put them together like so, it creates one image. And you can see the lightsaber connects in the middle. You've got all your characters, Qui-Gon Jinn, Anakin, Padme, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You got Jar Jar. I see C-3PO and R2 in the background, droids, Guado. Yeah, looks like we got the Sith representing in the background. If you can't see over here, we've got Darth Maul, and in the back, well, that's Lord Sidious. Hence the Phantom Menace. So that's pretty cool. I picked those up, wow, over 10 years ago. Official Lucas books. Inside, you know, black and white. They're great. And just so you know, it is a different language on the cover, but it is English inside. You know, the comics are actually in English. Just kidding. I can't read. I just like the pictures. But in the spirit of Star Wars Day, thought I'd share that shit with you guys.
If anyone's ever read the extended version, someone in the Skywalker/Solo family does suffer from the curse, if you know what I mean.
Dun dun dun. The curse.
Was the first person to probably start that curse in the family.
Shmi?
Nope.
Anakin.
Yep. So you can probably guess what ends up happening to either someone in the Skywalker and the Solo family. You can probably guess if you've read the extended version what ends up happening to one of them.
I'm going to take a wild shot in the dark and say somebody turns to the dark side.
Yep, if you've read the extended version. I'm not going to tell you who, though.
It doesn't really matter because I have a feeling that they're going to change. You know, they're taking a new storyline, just like they did with Star Trek, peppering the film with these characters that we know and reinventing them. I guess that I really shouldn't compare Star Wars and Star Trek so much, but just because they're being treated by the same, you know, director, you know, we don't need to have everything told to us right away. This is going to be an arc story with 3 parts, and they're letting the groundwork right now. And you always got to remember that we've got a part 8 and then a part 9 coming in the future. And when they're writing these kind of stories, there's going to be characters that they'll introduce in the middle of the trilogy that are going to relate to the characters in the beginning. And some of them may be motherfucking family members, you know, like maybe a long-lost fucking twin brother or something that you didn't know you had. What? Just like Luke and Leia, right? Luke and Leia didn't know that they were brother and sister until fucking, you know, episode 6. Who's to say that Han Solo and Leia don't have babies that they feel for one way or another need to be separated? Like one of them is just like Force crazy, you know, like moving the milk bottle with the Force and, you know, it's like floating around and then dumping on his sister. You know, we can't handle you. We got to send you off to Hoth.
Or we gotta send you to the new Jedi Academy with your Uncle Luke.
Yeah, crazy Uncle Luke, raised by his crazy Uncle Obi-Wan, who was a ghost half the time he was training him. That's the thing. Kids don't respect their elders. Do we really think that these new young Jedi are going to be corruption-proof? Hell no. The one guy that we know is going to be a bad guy, he's probably a Solo for all we know, and he's supposed to be a Darth Vader character. Well, Darth Vader was your fucking grandpa, kid.
But we know Luke's gonna be like the new Yoda since he's gonna be like the new head of the Jedi Order and stuff. So Luke's gonna be like the new Yoda pretty much.
We're going to see Luke Skywalker in his golden years, right? He's going to have all this wisdom and experience, having fought in the rebellion, and then him, helping his father find redemption. It's probably going to be heartbreaking for Luke when he sees his niece and nephews having to deal with the same shit that he was dealing with his whole life. If we've got Han Solo, and let's just say, for benefit of the doubt, he's still not convinced about the Force, but he loves Leia, and they had some children, and like I said, one of their kids might have been just a little bit too nutty with the fucking midichlorians, and they might have had to send him away to live with Uncle Luke to control his powers. And that's understandable. Luke and Obi-Wan and Anakin, even Qui-Gon Jinn, they'll all be playing like Texas Hold'em, him and a bunch of ghosts. And like, what am I doing with these kids, man? I don't get it. When I was a kid, we used to shoot womp rats, and nowadays, all these shitheads, they all think they're God's gift to the galaxy. They all got the Force. Everybody's cutting each other's fucking, My point is that it's got to be an ugly galaxy still. Otherwise, it wouldn't be Star Wars. There's still going to be some conflict, and I guarantee you with the J.J. Abrams show, it's not going to be only interstellar conflict. It's going to be some sort of inner conflict between right and wrong.
Peace don't last forever.
No. There's going to be loyalty conflicts, and there's going to be morality conflicts, maybe even some gravitational conflicts. I don't know. But I'm excited. Thanks for joining us on Star Wars Day. I'm BstMstR. You want to take us out, Don Chaos?
All I gotta say is happy May 4th, and remember, fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering.
Wise words. All right, may the 4th be with you.
All right, later.
See ya.